G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, can you believe it, I'm actually back in front of the camera after being away for about 2 months. I want to start doing some work again. For those of you who don't know, this is going to be a normal video. We have a normal review coming up. Most of it was pre-recorded before I went on a bit of a break, and the reason is just I was struggling. I still am struggling a lot with my mental health and depression. And it has been really, really rough, but I want to start making some choices and try to put the work in that I can get better. And one of the big things I think is I still want to keep working. I still want to make drone videos for you guys. And I want to say thank you so much for everybody who's reached out. I know there's been a couple of people thinking, is Stuart dead? What is going on? No, that's not the case. I am well and truly alive. It's just been rough, so I want to say the video you're about to see, please be kind. It was recorded a little while ago, but I guess it's just me winding up to start work again. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I feel hopeful for it. Drones are a big part of my life, and the FPV community is absolutely amazing. And also want to give a shout out to all my Patreon supporters, all the people who've sent me emails and messages, and still, you know, it's basically been 60 days since a video on my channel, and I still get kind messages and people saying, Stu, are you okay? And yeah, just even though I didn't respond to 99% of those, and I kind of just shut myself away from most of the world, you know, I haven't been active on my Discord, I haven't done anything on my channel. I just want to say thank you. Those messages really did make a difference. So look, I'm about to roll this video. I'm hoping that this is the start. I'm setting myself some goals or some work to do. So anyway, I'm going to roll this video. Hope you enjoy it. And if you send me a message, just thank you so much. It meant so much more than you could possibly know. So anyway, I'll roll the video and hope you have a great time, and I am hoping to see you soon. Anyway, catches. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, sit back, relax, because we have a freestyle battle on our hands. What we are talking about, in the FPV drone community, there is a couple of king quads out there that are just great for freestyle, entry level, well priced, that perform, and right here, this is one of them. In the past, it's been the Nazgul from iFlight, and this is T-Motors FT5. I'm going to link it down below. It is trying to take the top spot on the ultimate bite and fly freestyle rig. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to put it on the bench, we're going to break it down, we'll look at the text and specs and what makes this one special, things we like, things we don't like, and then most importantly, we're going to go out to the field, fly it around. We've got Wingman Jono, I think he's out there, maybe Grumpy Trev, we'll have to check with the editing, but we're going to find out how this goes. We'll show you the footage, get their impressions as well, and find out for the $200 mark, is this a fantastic choice when it comes to a freestyle bind and fly analog rig, or are there some other better options out there, and how does it stack up against those options? So stay tuned, because it's a big episode that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. And if you want to get into FPV, let me just say straight off the bat, quads like this are a great way to start. So as a bit of an overview, the FT5, it's coming in at around the $200 US. Mine looks a little bit different to the pictures on the screen. I did change out for an OG session mount that we've got right here, even though it comes with a nice little session mount. But what it is, it's a 5-inch, let me get this out of the way as well. It is a 5-inch bind and fly that is just designed to haul a GoPro around. It's designed to be relatively cheap, so around the $200 mark is quite good value for the performance that you get from this thing. You're meant to do some freestyle, it's kind of robust. It's got some nice little design traits as well, with some cool components, I must say. And T-Motor tends to make some pretty high-end stuff, so for them to come in, and this is kind of like, I guess you would say, a value range, it's nice to see. So, look, let's look at the quad and what makes it special. Let's look at some of the components. Of course, starting at the frame itself, it's not a unibody design. I quite like that for freestyle, that it's got 4 individual arms. It means if you can break one, well, you can buy a cheap spare, so that should only be a couple of bucks. And staying on the frame as well, it has this little piece on the top which you can unscrew and just simply work on your stack, makes it very, very easy to get your work done. Let me get this in focus a little bit more. Hopefully for you guys as well, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Starting towards the outside, working towards the middle, of course we've just got our little 3-blade props, but you can throw on whatever kind of props that you want. As long as they're like a 5-inch prop, it's going to be fine. The ones it comes with are pretty stellar. Underneath that we've got some Velox Motors. There's also a more expensive version, I think. There's even a HD digital version. That's a lot more expensive with like some F Pros and that sort of stuff on there. But this bad boy, the Velox Motors, I think they're 1700 kV on the 6S version. They're 2306, this is the 4S version. version to 2,400 kV. So if you're into 6S as well, that's just the voltage on your battery. You can take a 4S. There's a 4S version or a 6S version, depending on what battery that you've got. Towards the middle, of course, the little stack, a great little stack we've got right there, 50 amp ESC. We've got an F4 flight controller, relay, rock and beta flight. All that sort of stuff in the middle is relatively standard, and let me tell you, it works really, really well. I've hooked mine up to Crossfire. It doesn't come with a receiver, so factor that into your, or there might be some versions, but mine didn't come with a receiver for that 200 bucks. We have our Rush Tank VTX on the back, which is all in all is a pretty decent VTX. I know a lot of people enjoyed that. Our little circular polarized antenna on the back. And then at the front, we just have a little CADX cam, which I've got to say, it's just fairly average. There's not going to be beautiful HD, DJI stuff, nothing like that. Just a fairly standard sort of FPV camera at the front. Like I mentioned, you also do get a couple of little extras. I changed out my GoPro mount, and I also had to put in my own little receiver there. So take note, yours is going to look different when you get it out of the box. Although you do get I'll put some pictures on the screen, you do get a nice GoPro mount. Talking about the designer thing, look, it's a fairly classic design. Some things have done a little bit different. This part I really love. Let me get my tools, bear with me. Check this out. I really do like this part. So you simply, if you've got to do some soldering or you've got to work on something on the middle of your quad, instead of taking out all these individual standoffs and stuff and screws and taking the entire top plate off, all you need to do, boom. Then you can go to town, you can do some work. That's how easy it is to work on your stack. So I really, really like that. Putting this, I'll fix that up later. We'll continue with the review. So I like that part of the design. It's easy to work on. When this plate is on there, it's really robust. It's a classic design. This is like why most of our freestyle units look like this. The battery on the top, a lot of people say that that feels better for freestyle, although, look, to be honest, I can't really tell that much of a difference with a top mount versus a bottom mounted battery for freestyle. I do prefer my racing though, or my track flying. And then moving on, talking about the quality of the thing, I got to say, quality at T-Motor makes some great stuff. So I'd say like an 8.5, a 9. It's soldered up nicely. They've got great ESCs in here. The motors are fairly decent. It performs well, and it works well out of the box as well. When it's in the air, the most important part, it feels good on the sticks. If we talk about the pros and the cons, well, it's not really a con, but there is some stiff competition. So this versus the Nazgul, it is a very, very close call, depending on what you prefer when you look at both of those drones. Pros, things that it does well, it flies well in the air. It's got some great components. You've got a couple of different options when it comes to 4S or a 6S. Handles a GoPro like a champ, and I think it's going to be fairly durable as well, because you've got those fairly thick arms on the outside that you can replace if you do break one. And you get some nice little TPU mounts as well. So you've got that nice GoPro mount, which you saw in the other picture, and if you want to use one of these long range antennas, something like the Crossfire, it's kind of made for that. You've got these nice little antenna TPU mounts at the back as well, which is a nice little touch. And then of course, yeah, the main one, it just feels great in the air. So the tune they've got on this, it feels good. So look, that's it on the bench for 200 bucks. That's the version I've got. You might pay a little bit more if you want to check the links and have a look at the receiver versions that you get. But let's do it. Let's do the fun stuff. Let's go out to the field. We'll show you some footage. I'll show you some DVR, what the camera looks like. I'll show you some freestyle when I've put my action camera in here as well, because that's what a lot of people are going to be doing with these drones. So you can make up your mind, and we'll also see what some of the other boys think when they get their hands on this bad boy and show you their impressions. So let's do it. Fly the T-Motor $200 bind and fly freestyle around. Have some fun in 3, 2, 1. Radio out here in the field with the T-Motor FT5. Let's do it. This one is going to be very interesting. It is pretty much bang on par price point with the Nazgul, which is arguably the most popular freestyle drone bind and fly that you can get at the moment. You take it out of the box, it works. This is, almost dropped it. This is T-Motor's answer, the FT5. We're going to put it through its paces, show you some of the footage of what it's like, talk about it, how it goes, and also hand it over to Wingman Jono, who's behind the camera as well. We've got some noisy garbage trucks over there, so hopefully they don't interrupt, but let's do it and find out. I put TBS in here. I'm also recording on my session for a bit of fun, but let's find out, is this a good drone to buy? Is this a recommendation we should tell people to get? Hey, I'm jumping in, I want to try FPV, I'm in analog, there's also a digital version as well. How is this drone actually going to go? Is this a good choice for 200 bucks? So let's do it in 3, 2, 1, garbage truck. Boop.
If it's bad, can we just fly it straight into the back of a garbage truck?
Yeah, that's it. If it's bad, just, hey, we'll just put this straight into the bin. We'll have to take the LiPo out, of course, but, you know, let's do it. And I want my Crossfire receiver and my session back. Radio, here we are jumping back in. And look, I do have to apologize because, look, it's been a while since I have flown this one, and I'm doing the re-recording here. I want to do a voiceover because I want to make sure that it's clear that it's known that this is now $270. So when I looked at this today, the price looks like it's gone up a fair bit, which means it's kind of a bit of a different value situation. I really like this at the time of filming. Maybe you can have a look at some of the different links. But for me, when I clicked on it in Australia, it was up to $270. So take that in mind when we're talking about value in this review, that it's a little bit more pricey now, which kind of sucks from when I first filmed this. But from memory, what this quad was like, look, it just felt like a great little flyer. It had plenty of poke, it felt responsive, there wasn't too many wobbles in there, and it's kind of like the ultimate bind and fly for people who just want to get into the hobby. They want something that's reliable, that's going to work, that just feels good on the sticks. And there's a reason why things like the Nazgul from iFlight have become so popular, because they just work, they feel great, and they don't break the bank. This is very, very similar to the Nazgul in all regards, except it looks like this one might be now a little bit more pricey, which is a little bit of a shame. But look, I'd say if you are looking to get into the hobby, you just want a reliable analog quad that's not going to break the bank, and it's also not going to break on your first crashes. I can see Jono swinging around on the swing there, the big kid, but it's not going to break. It's going to be fairly tough. It's just got some good components, and it's from T-Motor. It's pretty decent. So anyway, what we should do, let's hand it over to Wingman Jono there. We'll see what he thinks about it as well and find out. We'll also show you some DVR as well towards the end of the flight, so you can see what it looks like through the camera. All right, let's hand it over to Jono in 3, 2, 1.
Rightio, Hawaiian Jono, what's going on there?
What's going on? This is a T-Motor rig, is it?
It is. It's pretty much a $200 Nazgul competitor. The TF5 or the FT5, something like that.
FT5.
Oh, it's even written on there. There you go.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw it in the air? How did it look? So we got the analog version as well. What did you think?
Oh, it looked smooth. It looked like it had plenty of gas on it. It didn't look like it was anemic in terms of the throttle. So, yeah, it looked smooth. You seem to be starting to thrash it around a little bit. You're getting your confidence back in.
I actually was enjoying it.
Yeah. It's I was starting to see that. So, I'm pretty keen to have a lash. It looks like it'll be some fun. Yeah,
let's
and hopefully I don't crash it.
Oh well, mate, that's what it's about. You know, if you need to test it, if that happens, that happens. That's part of owning drones as well. So, what do you think about T-Motor in general, and also before we get started, the $200 price point?
Well, that's a pretty good price point for it, to be honest. Like one of the things I really liked about the Nazgul was it was pretty good drone, good price point on it as well. Like very solid, very competitive in terms of what you're getting for your money. This one here, that price point, it looks like it's going for it. And T-Motor, you know, you've always had that air of quality around them. So if you're getting that good level of quality with a nice price point on it, then you're doing really well. There's not much to lose on there. The in terms of like build quality, it looks nice and stuff like that. The only thing that slightly bothers me is you got these they look like they're custom standoffs.
Yeah.
In there, which is you know, if you're gonna like bend them or break them, they look really sturdy, but if you bend them or break them, you're gonna have to hunt down specifically those standoffs, because they they bridge across the top.
Yep. It's like an actual square.
Yeah, it's actual square
that's gonna
standoff.
be robust as heck.
Yeah, which is it's gonna do good for the strength, but also you might want to have a couple of backups of those just in case.
Too easy. All right, mate, let's put it through its paces and see what you think.
Yep. Garbage can.
Rightio, Jono, let's do it.
Alrighty, let's give it a fly.
So you got the session on there?
Oh, I should not crash it then, shouldn't I?
Oh man, go for it, I don't care.
You can't get sessions anymore, man. You have to care about
That's part of the job. It's part of the job. No point having gear if you don't use it. How's the pop?
How's the pop? Yeah, it feels like it's got a bit of go to it. It's not insanely fast, but there's definitely enough there to make it fun. I like the rates out of the box. They're pretty nice. Feeling like the rolls and stuff are a bit more dialed into what I prefer.
Is there any wobbles? Do we even get wobbles in drones now? Like, people don't understand how good drones have got. Remember, drones used to be bad back in the day.
Yeah, man.
What about this one?
I remember Open Pilot and having to like try to tune with that, and it just was a terrible experience trying to tune and very frustrating.
What about this drone?
This one feels great out of the box. I'm not hearing any oscillations on full burst, and it feels like it it feels pretty smooth, to be honest.
All right, here's the big one. $200. Does it beat the Nazgul? Same price, What do you reckon?
Oh, it's been a long time since I flew a Nazgul.
Yeah, it's probably
but I
about
really did
12
like
months,
that. I remember.
12 months difference, yeah.
I remember I really liked that Nazgul. Oh man, like, oh, if I were going to buy one, man, you're really making that tough. I think pretty much it's going to come down to with this one, like, I feel like the Nazgul, yeah, it's a little bit older now. These T motors are a bit newer. I suspect they're probably going to be a bit more efficient on the battery draw. To be fair, like, yeah, I think if I were to make the decision nowadays, I reckon I'd probably go with this one just because we're looking at a bit of newer gear in there, and newer gear is going to be a little bit better.
Would you be let down with either purchase, whatever you got for this sort of performance? I guess around the $200 mark for something like this.
Oh, like I love the price to performance ratio of like this kind of like this kind of standard that we've got going on at the moment. It's really good. Yeah, I'd be very happy with it. I would.
Okay, what about, who is this recommended for, right?
I reckon that this is a good entry, like buy-in for somebody that wants something good to start off freestyle on. Yeah, you're definitely not going to be disappointed with it, and it's going to maneuver nicely. It's going to haul a GoPro with ease.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, if you're not ready to you know, pay for that like super expensive premium sort of gear, something like this is going to get you some good results straight off the bat.
Pretty much the definition, I reckon, of value. When
Yeah,
it comes to,
yeah.
like, what you're getting here. It's not cheap by any means, and I'm not saying $200 is no, you know, it's just change. It's definitely a chunk of money, but for $200, what you get in terms of a drone and freestyle is pretty damn impressive. All right, you coming in for a landing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're freaking me out, bro.
That's all good. Just relax.
Yeah, okay.
I got good throttle
Too
control,
easy.
man.
All right, I'll unplug it for you.
Awesome.
Something too, though, we did have to put a receiver in there, so factor that in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something to think about. I put a TBS Crossfire receiver in there.
Yeah, oh man, most of the time you're going to want to put your own thing in there anyway.
That's
you are,
true,
so
that's
yeah.
true.
Hey, look, in terms of like...
And I'll stop this GoPro, sorry,
oh
bro.
yeah, that sounds
Yep.
good. Yeah, like to be honest, happy with that flight. It looks nice, looks robust. Yeah, maneuvers well. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Price point's on point. I would definitely like consider that as my next freestyle one, and I am up for a new freestyle drone,
Okay.
so quite possibly
No
I might
worries,
be
look
getting
out,
this.
T-Motor. All right, give me a rotation from 0, let's just say 0 to 90. How are we going? So your score, what is it? What is that? No, what is that? 180. 0 to what are you getting out of 180? Anyway, all right, John.
Okay,
give me a thumbs up rotation. How far do we get?
We're going to be almost at the like 100%. The only thing I don't like is the custom standoffs in there. I get a bit wary about custom parts. I just like stock standard parts in there.
Yes,
For
yeah,
easy interchangeability is a thing for me.
I reckon those standoffs look about the most robust.
But yeah, they
I've
do
ever
look
seen.
robust. I have to say, they look
Yep.
like they're going to take an absolute belting.
All right,
so
so I need that thumb dial, mate.
okay,
Where
we're gonna go like that's 100, and we're gonna go little tiny notch off.
Okay,
Yeah,
no worries.
yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Dials.
Anything you didn't like?
Anything I didn't like with it?
Besides the standoffs, you mentioned that.
Yeah, the standoffs. I'd probably swap out the camera. I really like having like the Rattels and the nice
Sure.
mark of cameras in there. I feel like yeah, I'd probably swap that out.
Okay, nice. Thanks, mate.
Alrighty, radio, so what did you guys think of that? The T-Motor 2020 BNF flight, the FT5 or whatever it is. It's going to be linked down below. There is also a serious big boy version, which is a lot more expensive. I'll link that as well. That is like $600 or something ridiculous. It even comes with HD digital. But this one, look, if you are getting into the hobby, you've got $200 to spend, something like this is going to go an awful long way. There's no real cons for it. The performance, the price value you get from this is great. It hauls around a GoPro. It's reliable. The only issue that I had when I was out in the field, for some reason the VTX jumped in pit mode. That was a little bit annoying, but I'm sure that could be fairly easily solved on the software side of things. And all in all, it just really works. I like the TPU mounts that you get, and I think, yeah, just for $200, it's either this or the Nazgul. What do you guys think? What would you choose and why? It's definitely a head-to-head battle right there. They are very, very evenly matched, and that's great for us consumers. If you want to jump in, you want to do freestyle, you want to also without breaking the bank. Like, this is a serious drone that's coming in around $200. Don't underestimate that. You can't really get much cheaper and get better performance than this. Other than that, yeah, it's just a fun little ripper drone. I'd love to know, or what did you guys think? I hope you have a fantastic day, or why? Because you deserve it. I'll see you in the skies. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. I feel like Harry Potter waving this thing around. And as always, happy flying.